Hello YouTubers, welcome to my channel. I hope you are having a fabulous day today. And it just keeps getting better and better with this couple. I have been trying to think about what other news, what other things around royalty that I could speak about. I have a Queen Noor video that I did for the members of my channel that they've already seen. So I'm going to put that video out soon and try to think of other things that I can talk about. One of them being Prince Edward and Wallis Simpson. I find that story very intriguing. I remember being a little girl and going through the pages of a book about this couple and how he had to abdicate to marry this woman who was divorced. I found it very intriguing, this story about this man who loved his wife or loved this woman so much that he was willing to give up the crown for her. And you know, similarly, we can see ourselves in something close to that right now. And we do know from, and I didn't find this out till later, that Wallis Simpson, she actually loathed Prince Edward. She was not really in love with him. She did not want to marry him. I didn't know this at the time. But there are some videos of her, and you can just see in their interviews how when she looks at him, she just does not have that love for him. She got into this position to marry him because Prince Edward was crazy in love with her. He loved the way she treated him. She was a no-nonsense, very classy woman who kind of put Edward in his place. And he liked that very much. He wanted a woman who could take charge and, you know, show him, you know, that he doesn't have the upper hand over her and that she put him in his place. And it reminds me so much of our couple today. And the similarities between the two different couples is very eerie to me. And I can see it happening. I can see how Meghan is not as in love with Harry as Harry is with her. And there's signs that you can see that tell you that this couple, this marriage, to me, is a business transaction. It's not a fairy tale like I thought the fairy tale was between Prince Edward and, the Duke of Windsor at the time, and Wallis Simpson. I thought they were a love story. Well, you know, it came out later that, you know, she wasn't so really much in love with Edward. And this is the case with, I believe, Meghan and Harry. It is a business transaction. There have been stories that came out a couple years ago about recordings that Meghan was doing. I believe that there is footage that she shot when she was inside the royal family. I believe they did secret recordings of the royals to be able to blackmail them because they are walking way too confidently in they're talking about the royals and how they sit back and they're so assured. And even Gail said that they have receipts, they have documents. And I know that some content has been reported on that they had filmed. I remember these stories. These stories are not going to go away. And what's going to happen is they are going to continue on their rampage with talking about the royals, throwing them under the bus, and they're going to be like, bam, we got the tapes. We got the tapes. And they're going to do it. They have to have the golden egg. They have to have something that is going to be a surprise element. There's something that is giving them the confidence that they need to continue on this path. And what's going to happen, I believe, is that they're going to start to see a shift of people not being fans of theirs anymore. And they're going to start to see that their popularity in America is going to start to go down. We have seen most recently news reports of this actually happening. What they're going to end up doing is getting something that's going to provide proof that they can show to demonstrate that they have not been lying with some of the things that they have been saying, to win back the public again. This is what I believe is going to happen, because you have to be in the mindset of someone like a Meghan, like Harry's wife. I'm an actor, as some of you know, and whenever I'm on vacation or whenever I'm in a very unique circumstance or situation, I videotape everything, because you never know how you may want to use footage of yourself in extraordinary circumstances. So I would not put it past Harry's wife to have filmed and recorded secretly a lot of the things that happened inside the royal family, so that she would have leverage, she would have content, because they knew while they were in the royal family working that they were going to leave. They were even doing deals to get these Netflix, Spotify deals while they were still royals. They were scandalous. If they're being scandalous now in the open like this, trust me, trust me. When they were inside the royal family, they was being even more scandalous. They were seriously, just, I can see Meghan now. She's going like taking pictures and putting the recordings down. And so tell me, yeah, hey Charles, yeah. So, you know, and just getting him to speak and talk and to say things, knowing she's got the record, but oh yeah, you know, like secretly just being conniving, because they've been conniving since they've come out of the royal family. You can almost guarantee that while they were in the royal family, they were conniving. Okay, so they're going to have a surprise element. They're going to have this baby. They're going to have this little show that they have for their next child, and then as things start to shift or they see a tide turning, they're going to whip it out. It's sad for me to see this happening, especially while the queen is alive. And maybe perhaps they're waiting until the queen has passed on and Charles is actually going to be at the throne, and maybe they've got something that they're going to do to blackmail Charles and maybe blackmail William, who knows, and try to get Harry to be on the throne. I mean, the way they have been dealt with very kid-like gloves, it makes me wonder, because no one's giving them the smackdown, because we know they need a smackdown seriously by now, but they have yet to have it. And so it feels like a tone. It feels like something is coming that they are going to whip out as a surprise element. And just remember the things that we heard in the past about her recording things and how she was caught doing that. She's going to whip it out. She's got her files lined up, ready to go, because this is a girl who's come prepared, who is very calculating. And she is definitely going to try to keep this going as long as she can, because this is getting her exactly what she always wanted when she married the man. This is just a part of the game plan when she was trying to find a good English man to marry, because we know that was even part of the story at one time. Like, there's so many nuggets of information that people who do not follow this regularly do not know. They don't see it. So they don't really have a clear picture. It's like they got the binoculars on, but they're not in focus. They just see this couple. Oh, they so cute. They so cute, but I can't quite see it. They're trying to adjust it and trying to, you know, get focus what they're seeing with this couple. But they don't see it clearly. They don't see it clearly. And those of us who have been following it, we see it clearly. We have been seeing this since the very beginning. And there are elements of this that are so, for me, I think the coddling of this couple, the giving of a platform to this couple by people who are in power, is going to be very detrimental to a lot of innocent people who have found themselves in a soap opera. It just looks like the old Wallis Simpson not loving her husband and living in exile and still writing letters to her ex-husband and loathing her husband. This couple, this woman now who has a lot of similarities to Wallis Simpson, she's getting ready to come out to do things that are going to hurt people. And in the end, it's going to end up hurting Harry himself. He don't know it. He just walking along la-di-da, telling his story, talking mental health and, you know, having the narrative of his wife. But he doesn't know that he is digging his own grave. He is digging his own hardship. He is digging for himself at a time in his life that will come that will put him in a very bad mentally emotional state, because of the seeds that have been planted now by his wife is going to lead him down a much darker road of mental anguish that he more than likely never even saw coming. He's talking about mental health now. Oh, he's really going to be talking about it when he gets the knife essentially symbolically in his back, because we know it's coming. It's coming. We've all seen it. We all have experiences in life. We can see a woman like her coming, like what? You coming, and you start to get more and more in focus and you see what's coming towards you. And you're like, oh no, she trouble. She trouble. She like right in your face now. You can see her clear as day. It's like everything right in front of my face. I can hear you in danger. You know, like from that show with Whoopi Goldberg. Child, you was in danger. And that's what it is. And he don't even see it. He is contributing to his own demise, essentially. What she is trying to get is so powerful. She's gravitating to something that she has longed for essentially her whole life. And she's there. She's essentially there. And she's going to do it by any means necessary. And the downfall, the outcome of all of this, whether it is years from now, whether it is next month or tomorrow, who knows? It is only going to get worse from here, unless they have an aha moment of showing how they've behaved badly. Something very tragic happens that gets them to wake up to the reality of what they have done. Unless something drastic happens that gives them the turnaround that they need, where this is heading with all of the stories, with all of the hoopla and of making of drama by this couple, it is leading down a very, very dark road. Not only that, and I remember very clearly when I was living in the UK, yet again, another story about me in the UK. I don't know why, but this is what it's bringing me to. There was always stories coming out about Diana and Dodi. There was like, oh, the kiss. And like people were waiting to see the next day what was going to be in the papers, because Diana essentially was wanting to be in the papers to make Hasnat Khan jealous. Like she was fueling this drama that was happening with Dodi, because she was on the rebound, because, you know, she really loved another man. She fueled something that essentially was a lot of drama. There was this constant fuel of energy of stories and drama. And then suddenly the accident. Diana had been in a car accident. And then all of a sudden, it came to a complete halt. What happened then is very, very eerily similar to what I'm feeling now. A lot is brewing. You've got people in the mainstream, people who normally don't speak about the royals, talking about this couple because they're generating so much vitriol. They're creating so much drama purposely. Very similar to what Diana was doing when she was going out with Dodi. There is a lot. Like, I remember going to the newsstands, you know, picking up the papers, reading what's going on with Diana today, you know, in my younger years, a little naive about things, much clearer now, let me assure you. But it's very similar to that time. And I don't see anything good coming out of it. No, because the level of deception and deceit that this woman will go to get what she wants is very strong. You can see it by all of the news that is being had today. They are doing it. This couple is fueling all of these news stories about what's happening, what's going on with them. They're not living that quiet, peaceful life. They want it. They want us talking about them. They want all of this drama, whether it be good or bad. Hey, we're talking about them. And essentially, it is very eerily similar to the last days of another princess. And it just seems like a very bad feeling. A bad feeling that I'm getting about all of the drama, deception, the lying, and the fueling of this couple's platform to try to make it look like it's a good thing. Oh, we're helping people. No, you ain't. You ain't helping nobody. Did you talk to the royal family lately? Have you heard from Harry's brother? This is not a good thing. People have to understand that while you might see that it appears to be good, just like it appeared to be good that Diana was with a man that she loved and happily, you know, vacationing and enjoying life after being stripped of her titles and doing things that she wanted to finally do eventually. She in the end ended up getting more of her freedom. She got rid of her own security from the royal family. She didn't want the security. She didn't want people knowing what she was doing. Like, she was now away from the eyes of the palace. She was making her own choices, essentially. She was causing heartache to the royal family at the time. Doesn't it seem very similar to what's happening now? It seems very similar to me. And I didn't have a story that I wanted to read from today. I simply really just wanted to talk about that. Talk about how Wallis Simpson, how, you know, she didn't really love her husband, but she was with him because she had to be with him because she wanted to be in that lifestyle. She wanted to be in the circles of the prince. And then when he took a liking to her, it was like a drug. It was like, oh, you want to be with me and I can be possibly the queen of England. But not knowing that, oh, wait a minute, hold up. We pulling the brakes on you. No, you ain't marrying this woman. She divorced twice, you know. And so then it was like, oh, she was like, well, I don't know if I want to be with you. They ain't gonna let me marry you and be the queen. Like, we gonna be in exile. Like, she was really loathing him then. She was like looking at him like, you used to look good to me when you had the crown, when you was gonna be the king, but you ain't looking good now. Look at you. You exiled. And now she's thinking, what am I? She didn't feel too good about herself, and she certainly didn't feel that great about her husband. And doesn't it seem like that with Harry and his wife? So Harry, he's out there dancing. He's out there doing the jug. You know, he's out there performing, talking mental health, because what else does he have? What else can he sell but his experiences from his mother? And it's so tragic that he's doing this. So tragic that he is essentially selling his mother to brand himself. And now his wife is like feeding the lines. Okay, Harry, okay, your talking points is good. Let's get some more talking points. You know, she's scripting it. She's doing it. You know, and I didn't have a story that I wanted to read. I just wanted to get this out. I just wanted to say how I was feeling about the moment that we're living in, this time, how they even bring up Diana about the child's first words and the contradictions with that, when we thought it was crocodile, and now it's no Grandma Diana or die or whatever the kid said, or they said, he said, whatever. It's like they're conjuring up things to make themselves noticeable. For what? For what? So watching this is just like, for me, a replay of what happened in the last days of Princess Diana. And it reminds me of the tragic story of Wallis Simpson, how she found herself in a marriage with a man she didn't love. Because sometimes you want something, and then just maybe when you get it, you just don't really want it anymore. What comes after that? If you can't wait out the tragedy of it and go through life as best you can with what it was that you got, that you just are sorry you kind of got. If you can't walk in life in that dark spot, and you try to cover it up and you try to make things better, conjuring up things, bringing up stuff because it's just not quite right yet, you're essentially making it worse for yourself. And to Wallis Simpson's credit, in the end, they just went and lived in exile in France, and you never really heard much of them. We know that the prince died alone without his Wallis there with him. She didn't even bother to come be by his bedside in the end when he passed away. There are a lot of eerie similarities, and they say history is bound to repeat itself, and I say it does seem like it to me. It really, really does seem like that to me. So just wanted to make that point, that, hey, learning and watching and talking is a good thing, as long as you don't get too caught up in the moment. And I just wanted to take a step back and say that, and not get too caught up in all the hoopla of everything that we see with all these news stories coming out. It's like, sometimes it's like, okay, what am I going to talk about now? And it's like, ooh, and ooh. It's like all these things. It's like, hold up, wait, stop. I just wanted to stop, take a break, and say, look, I'm feeling a special kind of way. And I'm looking around like, something's wrong here. Something is wrong.